Hello and welcome once again to my channel. My name is Sakshi Nelson and this is my channel called Days of Hope. And I have been using this channel for those who have been listening and watching to my channel. Thank you so much for being my subscribers, and those who have been watching and listening do know that I use this channel as a platform for sharing messages from the Word of God. And since I have this channel, I thought that it would be good to share this, to use this channel also as a way of interacting with people who have shown keen interest in reading my books. And if you have watched my the latest video in this channel, it is an author interview that I just gave probably 20 days ago, and it was a great experience, and I would like to thank all those people who have watched my interview. And so I have come here today to talk about my two books that I have published and that I have written under well-known publishers. And I want to talk about the two books that have been written by me. And the reason why I decided to come and make a video about this is because these are two separate books and they are entirely dual in nature. So talking about my first book, Likeness and Reflections, as you can see, this is a book that was released last year, and this is a book that is very close and special to me because it talks about my spiritual journey. It talks about my visions and dreams and my conversations with the Almighty. And I would love to thank the people who have actually taken out the time to read the book and connect with the poems that I have written. And it is a very close and personal book to me. And for people who have still not purchased this book, you can go on Amazon or Flipkart or Barnes & Noble, and you can also download the Kindle version and read it, and it will be an amazing experience if you do read this book. And so this book is more of a religious context because it is related with the Bible. It is related the dreams and visions that I have seen and mentioned in this is somewhat related to the Holy Bible. And if you read it, it is not preaching. It is about it is about spirituality. It is about seeing visions and dreams and getting messages from the Almighty when things are disturbed, when things are not good, when things are not the way they should be. And so when in moments like that, when you feel alone and when you feel broken and when you feel rejected and hurt, so what does God have to say when you are in that situation? And so if you read this book, you are going to feel that personal touch, because spirituality is something that everybody connects to. So I think this book would be a great medium. And I also decided to read today my favorite poems that are written in both of my books, that is from one each. The second book, that is Beauty in Brokenness, this one was recently, that means last month, it was released. And this book is actually very different from the first book that I wrote. Of course, the genre for both books is poems, but Beauty in Brokenness is something that is very apt and very common for people who have had broken moments. And if you read this book, it is actually divided into two parts. The arena is divided into two parts, where I have written poems from a female perspective as well as from a perspective of a man. So for more, for understanding the book more, you just might have to download the book from Kindle or buy it from Amazon or Goodreads or Barnes and Noble, Flipkart, and these are available on all the major platforms that I just named. So again, I'm going to read my favorite poem from this book as well. And this book is also very close to me because, yet again, it is not a spiritual book. It is a very general, common book, and anyone can pick up and read this because it talks about the broken moments of people, and everybody in life, nobody can deny it that they have not have had broken moments, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you've been through any stage of life. I'm sure you will find yourself in one of these, the lines in the poems that I have written. And so, without wasting much time, I am going to read the favorite poem of mine from my first book, which is a spiritual book. And it talks, I will just give you a little background of what the poem is all about. And the most favorite poem that I have from this book is called The Shells of Heaven. And this is one vision that I saw, which I can never forget. It was back in, I think, probably 2018. Then it was 2018 when I saw this vision, and it was a vision that I did not see in my sleep, or it was not a dream. It was a vision while I was wide awake and when I was praying, and it is one of the most beautiful visions of heaven, and it relates with the Bible. It relates with the book of Revelation, which is the last book in the Holy Bible, which talks about the visions of heaven that John saw. And I'm going to read this poem. Okay, the name of the poem is The Shells of Heaven. So here it goes. Where am I? On earth my soul, my spirit in heaven. Visions encamp with the glorious seven. Angels who serve thee and lead me to heaven. My eyes are closed, my spirit sees. My tongue in whisper, I hear him speak. This power divine I cannot define. Heaven his throne and his love benign. Earth his footstool, his crown is gold. His robe lavender, his glory unfolds. No walls in heaven, no boundaries set, no horizon, a place of rest. What do I see? On earth my feet, my eyes in heaven, and there I see the shells of heaven, layered in gold, sorted in light. The angels guard and make it right. I asked my angel, what are these? Write it as I answer thee. The endless books of people behold, the books of prayers and tears and gold, the books of life in shells of heaven, sanctified by the beams of heaven. It's written with the color of gold, the language of heaven one cannot know. The peaks of shelf I cannot describe. It wasn't for the human eye. Far beyond my eyes could see were only shells of mystery. He took me in spirit, my eyes could see, all in order of history. What do I hear? The voice of cherub, I hear him speak. He guides me to the heaven's door and further says, here's some more. These are the books of tears and cries, treasured as pearls, and they are of price. Each tear he saves as precious stones and won't spare the one that owes. Each prayer is listed in his sight. The angel guides them with his eyes. He sorts them out, the righteous ones. The Spirit pleads to the Holy One. The books of life are laden there, love, despair, right and unfair. Mercy and pleading and unjust are there. The broken, humble, defiled, and clean will all face the Spirit of the King. Then I see the glorious seven kneel before the King of heaven. My spirit bowed to the King I see. The cherub said, Rise, my thee. I started to feel my soul in knees. I felt the earth come back to me. Where am I? My face on earth for a little while, my spirit in heaven when I must die. The glorious seven who serve thee will reveal the shells of mystery. This is one of the most beautiful poems that we can say I am proud of, because this is one poem that is really close to my heart. This vision was the most beautiful vision that I had ever seen, that I have seen till now. And the shells in heaven is something that is very real. We all have our books of life written with the language that we cannot hear. I actually saw my own book. What was written I could not understand, because it was in the language of heaven. It was so pure, it was so perfect, it was, I wouldn't want to use the word magical, but it was very mesmerizing, and the shells that I saw, as far as my eyes could reach, I could see these shells of mystery. God knows what all must have been written there, but it was all in order of history, all in perfect state, all in perfect alignment. So this is one book you must read. Going to the second book, Beauty in Brokenness. Now this is a book that is very different. It doesn't talk about any vision. This is something that is very practical, that is something very good to hear. And I'm going to read the poem called You Are Beautiful. Of course, you are beautiful. Anyone can be beautiful, whether it's a man or whether it's a woman. God has made everyone beautiful and everyone equal in His sight, because we are made in God's likeness, and whatever is made in the likeness of God or made by God is, of course, beautiful. So this talks about the beautiful moments of a woman. Okay, but still I'm going to read it. I want you to hear it and enjoy it, and relate to it. So I'm going to read the poem You Are Beautiful from the book Beauty in Brokenness. Yes, she's beautiful, blessed and bold. There is beauty in brokenness, the mended soul. She captivates her true self and embraces her flaws. Her stretch marks are as ripples of feelings embossed. Yes, she's beautiful in colors of skin. Her lashes each have stories hidden. Each tear it has tasted and felt her grief. Her grays are the wisdom rooted beneath. Yes, her cramps are painful, and yet she labors for joy and withers her youth. She carries the seed and nourishes the fruit. She carries the lineage, nurtures the root. And yes, she has cried a million tears of joy, pain, happiness, and fears. She's broken, stripped, clawed, and raped, and yet she's beautiful in all her ways. She plants her garden in midst of thorns. The winds and rain sing along. They comfort her in despair. It reminds her there is beauty in brokenness. I hope you enjoyed listening to these poems as much as I enjoyed writing them. Please do go and purchase your copy for reading more such beautiful poems. And both are dual in nature. This is more of a spiritual book, but of course the genre is poems. And this, of course, is a book that you want to read. It talks about beauty in being broken, and this is also available on all major platforms. I'm hoping to get a good response, and I'm hoping that you do enjoy reading these books. Thank you so much for listening to me and listening to my poems. And keep reading, keep listening, and thank you for being my subscriber and being a wonderful listener. Thank you so much. Much love. God bless.